G'day everybody, this is X-Ray Racer 1 here, and this is part 2 of Project Upgrade. So as we can see here, these are, on the left here, are all the replaced parts. Now I'm not going to get rid of these parts. I may change some things around. I'm most likely not going to be using the main chassis parts, but I mean things like shock towers and suspension arms I'm definitely going to put them in the spare parts box. But it's completed, and I'll be honest, I'm glad I actually didn't film any of the building process, because it was part of it was frustrating on account of I just went off memory. The other part was some parts were a little awkward to do. But having said that, as you can see, everything's fine. It's come together, and yeah, I mean, you can't really see from the distance here, from this camera angle, but what I will do is I'll pop the hood and we'll have a look underneath, and I will run through with you what I've done. So first of all, what we'll do is we'll take this body off, and what I'll do as well is I'll get all the parts and just put them all over to one side here. What I have also done as well is I've got some new wheels and tyres on there. So what I'll do is I will take the camera off the stand, very carefully move the stand out of the way. You can see all my junk. Alright, so as you can see here, it's a bit hard to tell, but I've got all the factory team parts on here. As I zoom in here, you can see I've got the J Concepts front arm holder, and also, as you can see, I've got the factory team blue aluminium screws. If you can't really tell if these are the factory team arms, for instance, these are the factory team ones, and as you can see, this is a rear arm, but as you can see, it's a distinctly different colour. Same with if I show you the shock tower, completely different colour, it's a different material. It all went together very well. As you can see here, got all the factory team steering knuckles and C-hubs. Same the chassis components. Now, the chassis components are in a way probably the easiest part to put in, apart from a few little hiccups. As you can see, I've got the factory team blue screws to hold the dust cover on, and if I turn it around here, you can see got the screws on that hold the diff case together and hold the motor guard on. Now some screws aren't the factory team blue, they're still the kit ones. As you can see here, they are still the steel ones. Now the reason why I'm using that is the shock tower requires a lot of strength to hold it in place, so I'm using the steel ones here. But as you can see, if I turn it, I've got the factory team screws to hold the wing mounts on. The back here, got the factory team screws in the back. And by the way, these are J Concepts dirt webs, and these are J Concepts rims. Also, I have the 3 Racing serrated flanged wheel nuts. Again, more blue screws in here, right there. Now, one thing I strongly recommend, and Team Associated also recommend it, when you're using aluminium screws, especially if you're screwing it into these hard parts, because this is a lot harder than the ordinary plastic parts. Team Associated recommend that you pre-tap each hole and use a little bit of grease or a bit of like machine oil just to lubricate the thread. And it's just as well that I did do that, because out of all the screws, as you can see, I've got all the blue screws here, and if we have a look underneath here, except for two at the back here and some of the main screws, they're all steel. I got the factory team blue screws, and then out of all the screws, this was the only one that stripped on me. Yeah, so, and what I used a bit of afterrun oil. This is just in a bottle. I just used a little bit of that oil just to lubricate the threads. So what I did is, with my old steel screws, so for instance like these steel screws here, I got one of those, and with all the holes, and like on the main chassis and on like the front upper brace and shock tower, etc., I pre-tapped the hole for these screws. Then what I did is I put a bit of oil on the screw and some oil in the hole, and they went in quite well. There was still a bit of resistance while I'm still thinking about it. Here I have the J Concepts honeycomb motor mount that went in together really nicely. It was obviously just a direct swap, pretty much like everything else. Also here, you can see I have the STRC Racing aluminium shock bushings. Oh, there's my finger right there. The original ones are just the plastic. Now it's a bit hard to tell, but also got the Lunsford Racing titanium ball pivots, and obviously, and like I said in part 1, there have been some other upgrades that have been put in when I did the build series. So those are the Lunsford Racing titanium turnbuckles, and they come as a kit. And I've got the factory team sway bar kit and the J Concepts carbon fiber battery strap. And the last thing, I guess it's not really a hop up, but it is a tuning thing. I got the J Concepts wing on the back, and again the J Concepts dirt webs. I'm looking forward to running it in this setup. Everything went well. Obviously I can't really show it to you because you can't see it, but I've got the set screws in the rear hubs as well as the front ones. Yeah, it was very time consuming. It did take me most of the day to do it. I did it over the weekend. Yeah, so if you have any comments, don't hesitate to comment down below. And if any of you are using the factory team hard parts like the chassis or the shock tower or the arms, let me know what you think of them. And yeah, so hopefully I'll have a running video of it in this configuration very soon. Stay tuned, folks.